Hello everyone, and welcome to the lecture on 5 steps of an interview. In this lecture, we're going to discuss the 5 major components of the non-technical parts of an interview. Those include preparation, arrival, introduction, communication, and closing out the interview. So let's start with preparation. If you have a morning interview, you're going to want to get up earlier than usual. So for instance, if you usually wake up at 7 a.m. and your interview's at 8:30, try to wake up either an hour or 2 hours before usual. So wake up around 6. That way, once the interview comes around, you're fully prepared and awake to tackle it head on. Also, the day before, make sure you confirm the appointment time and location. Also, make sure to bring extra resumes. A lot of times you'll be informed of how many separate interviews you'll be having in a day. For instance, you'll have 4 half-hour interviews. So always bring resumes for every person you're going to be interviewing with. They usually have some, but sometimes they forget them or don't have them printed out for them. So make sure you bring extra resumes as a tool for them to help interview you. Also, always make sure you have proper directions and the name of the person you should ask for when you arrive. Up next, your actual arrival. Make sure to arrive 10 to 12 minutes before the scheduled appointment. The moment you arrive, you should consider yourself as making impressions on prospective employers. That includes everyone you meet from the moment you step out of your car. You want to show confidence and smile and make a strong initial impact. Also, before meeting the receptionist, you should visit the restroom, view your appearance, and take care of any business. And then be aware of your body language. It's really important that you come off as a nice, confident person, even before you actually start your formal interview. Then your introduction. So make sure to give a firm handshake with a smile while maintaining eye contact. You should speak with confidence and energy, and you should also try to determine that specific interviewer's communication style and adapt to it. So for instance, if he or she tends to break into smile frequently, you should also be smiling often. If he or she doesn't, you want to avoid grinning too much, so try to adapt to your interviewer's communication style. Up next, communication in general. So make good use of openings, and what I mean by that is, for example, if the interviewer begins by saying, "Tell me about yourself," you're already in control of an early part of the meeting. So deliver a quick 30-second personal overview of your background, maybe beginning with education, followed by some sort of 60 to 90-second overview of your career. So like X numbers of years doing this and that, working for them and these other people. Okay. After that, you really want to make sure you communicate your skills, qualifications, and credentials clearly. Then, demonstrate your ability to adapt and learn. You'll probably be asked some sort of situational questions, which we'll go over later in this course. But questions such as, have you ever been in a position where you had to make a tough decision? Or have you ever had a disagreement with a former colleague? Those kind of questions. And remember, plan, prepare, practice, and rehearse. There's no substitute for good practice for an interview. Next, closing. Make sure to ask follow-up questions. We actually have a list of potential follow-up questions for you to use right before the technical section. So you can go ahead and check out that video and the list of questions for you to ask. Then you'll want to review salary and compensation package after you receive an offer. So that's it for those 5 steps. Those are just the non-technical portions overviews. So after this, we're going to go into some especially challenging interview questions called the Tough Interview Questions lecture. And we'll discuss some tough interview questions, how to approach them, and how best to answer them. All right. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you at the next lecture.